Yo guys, what is good? What is up? My name is DiggityWiggityWaaa. What the fuck did you just say to me? And we're continuing on here. A little bit of Starfield. And yeah. I saw Starfield did not get Game of the Year. I don't know if anybody's honestly surprised about that. Let me know. I would love to hear what you think. I personally am not surprised. Let's go there. Is anybody surprised that Starfield did not win Game of the Year? I think, honestly, I'm surprised that Starfield was even in the conversation. I enjoy this game. I know there's a lot of people out there that would say, Diggity, have you lost your mind? Like, is your mind leaking out your ear? Diggity, have you lost your mind? Is your brain leaking out your ear? But I gotta be honest, I do enjoy Starfield.
This relay station has to be at least 100 years old.
There is a lot of repetition. There is no question about that. But let's be honest. Almost any game you play, there is a ton of repetition, right? It doesn't matter whether you're playing Warcraft. It doesn't matter whether you're playing whatever game. Even Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3, I absolutely love, and it won, which it should have won, in my opinion. But again, let's be completely honest. Is anybody honestly surprised that Baldur's Gate 3 won? No, it was extremely polished, extremely, I mean, it's what games should be. It's what a product should be when you buy it. When you buy a product, it should be complete or near complete. It shouldn't be in the stage. Where are we gonna go with this one? Yeah, that's not good. It shouldn't be in the stage that Starfield was in when Starfield was released. And again, just my opinion, but unfortunately, it has become the norm and it has become acceptable. And to me, it is unacceptable. But what the hell do I know? What the hell do I know? I'm trying to figure out how I can slot these. Yes, I think we screwed up. Okay, I'm very old, right? I'm very old. And I can remember the very first game that I ever played that came out that was unpolished, that had a lot of bugs. I remember it to this day like it was yesterday. And it was Battlefield Vietnam. And probably not the Battlefield Vietnam that a lot of you guys would remember. A lot of you guys would remember like Battlefield 2, Battlefield 1942. Well, there was a PC game that came out, and it was Battlefield Vietnam by EA Dice, and it was just horribly unpolished. It was just, there was tons of bugs, and it was the first time I had ever experienced that, and I thought, wow, like, this is bad. Like, this is really, really bad that we paid full price for a game that is essentially in beta. And I know I'm going on a little bit of a rant here, but, you know, we've allowed that. We've allowed that to be the norm. And it is unacceptable, in my opinion. But let's be honest, there's no going back now. And there's no going back on this because I'm screwed. I'm going to give up on this. There's no going back when it comes to expectations and what's been allowed. The only way we could possibly go back is if people stop buying and playing unfinished content, and we all know that's never gonna happen. It's never ever gonna happen. And so I watch people like Asmongold. I enjoy his takes, whether I agree with him or I don't. I enjoy watching his content, and in many of his videos, he talks about how bad Starfield is, and he's not wrong. He's not wrong at all. But it's the norm. It's the norm, and it's not going to change. It's not going to change unless people in
like
mass,
everybody
kind of
evacuated
like what
fast.
happened with Wall Street Bets, unless people stand up in mass and essentially make the demands well known that we're not going to play unfinished bullshit, I mean, it's just going to be the norm. But when we say things like Starfield is just so repetitive that I can't even bother with it, well, every game is repetitive. And it's not even that Starfield's repetitive that's the problem to me. The problem for me is the loadings, like the loading screens and things like that. It's a lot of the little things. It's a lot of the bugs, a lot of the glitchy things, and you know, it's a lot of small things that add up to make it a shittier experience than it should be. I've got to try to turn down my sensitivity somehow. I forget what button it is on my mouse. That might be too much. But yeah, I mean, to me, I really do enjoy this game, and I've heard Asmongold say things like he doesn't know how people have hundreds of hours into a game like this. I probably have that in the game by now, I would assume. But I find it very playable, very enjoyable. But again, that being said, it is very far from being complete or perfect. And I am not surprised it didn't win Game of the Year. I'm shocked so many people think it should have won Game of the Year because, I mean, honestly, it shouldn't even be in the conversation, in my opinion. That's not to say it's not a great game or a fun game, but that's to say that it's an unplayable game in many aspects for a lot of people. And I have a beast of a computer that I put together this year.
Spin-up time almost complete. Total time 5 minutes 22 seconds. Right on schedule.
How are the helium-3 valves holding, Nova?
We double-checked the leakage concerns this morning before the launch. All signs green.
Any changes to the calculation sequence from Voltaire?
No changes since we uploaded the last figures yesterday. It's a clean shot from here to Jupiter.
There's that little sad dot.
On board the spaceship. Just imagine that.
One miracle of science at a time, Canaveral. Counting down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Something happened, or is it...
Canaveral, are you reading?
All clear, Nova. Indicators look good. The ship should be cruising Jupiter's orbit right now. Visual confirmation will be possible in 32 minutes. Afraid the speed of light is on the slow side these days.
How does it feel to break the laws of physics, Canaveral?
We're all pretty excited down here in NASA, I won't lie.
Excited enough to tell me where you got the original data?
Not in a million years.
Go to NASA. Anyways, to sum up my point, I really enjoy Starfield. I think Starfield is a good game. I think there's a lot of content. There's tons of repetitive things in every game you'll ever play in your life. That's just what video games are, unfortunately, whether it's Grand Theft Auto or whatever, you're stealing cars or, you know, shooting people, you're doing the same repetition over and over. That's where the story needs to come in, and that's where other things need to happen. And I do believe those are areas that Starfield lacks. Starfield has a ton of bugs, and we, like I said, we allow those things with things like Cyberpunk 2077, which eventually becomes an amazing game. No Man's Sky, same thing. And it's become the standard from every company other than pretty much Rockstar that I can think of that releases AAA titles. You get a game that's in beta or full of bugs, and that's just what we're used to now. We accept it, we allow it. I don't know if anybody's ever tried to do anything with the legal system in that regard, but we allow it. And it's not going to change unless everybody makes a stand. Another example I could make of how just things like this have become the norm and it's unacceptable is anybody that collects trading cards, sports cards, Pokemon maybe, I'm not sure, but sports cards for sure. in Canada, we have a law that says you cannot physically charge somebody's credit card or take money from them until you physically have the item to give them to ship, right? So if I buy something from Best Buy or Fry's Electronics Store or Walmart or whatever, they physically cannot charge my credit card in Canada until they have that item in a box and ready to ship to me, or put the label on it and it's being shipped out. They can reserve the funds on your credit card, but they don't physically capture the funds on your credit card. There's a difference. And in the sports trading card industry, they have something called redemptions, meaning they could not get a player to sign a card, so you would need to send away for a redemption to Panini, which is in Texas, and eventually you might get the card. Yeah, eventually you might not. You might get something instead. You might get nothing instead. Who knows? And it's very much like video games nowadays, where I'm buying something that is not finished. It's not a finished product. So I don't know if anybody has ever tried to take any of these gaming companies to court. I think you would fail miserably. I think you would fail. But that being said, I think it would still make a statement that, you know, this is unacceptable. But anyways, I really do enjoy Starfield. It's a great game. I do have a lot of time into it, as you can tell in my YouTube videos. If you were just to add up the play time, the watch time in my YouTube videos, it's got to be damn near close to 60, 70, 80, 90. I don't even know how many hours, but it's got to be up there. So I feel like I can speak on that. I do enjoy the game. If you followed this series along with me through my YouTube videos, you'll see I have had a lot of bugs. A lot of bugs. Like I'm playing RoboCop Rogue City still. And RoboCop Rogue City, which is the game I didn't even hear about coming out. Honest to God, I had no idea that RoboCop Rogue City was even on its way out. That there was a release of any kind coming in the RoboCop series, and I find that far more polished than Starfield. Now, is there as much to do? No, but RoboCop at least set out what it meant to do. Make a great game. There's a lot of shooting, there's a lot of detective work, there's some traits you have that come with the game.
Shaft will take us deeper inside NASA.
I got a shaft for you
Might need
there.
to work through some rubble. What if we leave a few things here and make a second trip?
What if I get you to carry my
Let's get out there and do something
fucking
new
shit?
today. I might have some room.
Better have some room. Inventory. That. But anyway, I just hear a lot of people shitting on the game, which it rightfully deserves in a lot of ways, and in other ways, you know, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. And I understand it's not some people's things because they screwed it up, but again, you're gonna bitch and complain, the people that are mostly your audience, whether they admit to it or not, are probably the ones that you should be pointing your fingers at. Because they're the ones that are accepting it. Oh, can I take the power cell back out? And I'm in the same boat. I bought it. It's mine. I own it. You know, nowadays it seems like we're buying games in hopes that they fix it down the road. So, you know, I got back from vacation, started playing this because I started hearing all kinds of good and bad things, mainly bad things, which I said in my very first video. And so I jumped on board. I gotta see what this disaster is. I mean, I've been looking forward to this game, so I start playing it and I see the disaster firsthand, but I also see a lot of good firsthand. So it's like, you know, I get the complaints, but what game, what AAA title are we not complaining about other than Baldur's Gate 3? You know, Baldur's Gate 3, they truly showed how a game should be when it releases, but that is a rarity, ladies and gentlemen. I mean,
Really looks like this one almost made it to launch. Wonder what the final problems were.
if you think all games that come out are going to be like Baldur's Gate 3, I think you're going to be sadly disappointed. Because that was a unicorn, ladies and gentlemen. That was an absolute unicorn.
Looks like the lift is offline. Maybe we can restore power. Let's look around. What's new?
Home slice.
Not a problem.
Let's trade gear.
Let's see if I have space.
You better have space. Resources, comm relay, gimbal, boom. Going up.
Crew preparation area. I can't imagine.
Barrett's
how
voice, I
tense and
never really
chaotic
thought
must
about
have
it,
been.
but Barrett's voice really reminds me of Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Station log. Dr. Judith Tatian. The recent delivery from Mars is unsettling. I was expecting rock samples or maybe fossils of microbial life. Instead, Dr. Victor Isa comes with 2 members of the military. Everything they brought back is under wraps. What could a theoretical physicist need with a sample from Mars? Station log. Dr. Judith Tatian. I've been trying to cozy up to Dr. Isa, Victor, to see what is going on. His team has completely commandeered one of the labs with those 2 military handlers, checking who comes in and out. I joked that maybe he found a little gray man and was doing an autopsy, and he grew very pale. 2 days later, he sends me a request asking for more information on my background in materials science, metallurgical engineering. Oh, we have a meeting tomorrow. I think I'm being invited into the lab. Station log. Dr. Judith Tatian. I have never been so nervous since I defended my dissertation. 4 hours talking to Victor and his team about theoretical metals, atomic bonding, even a half-hour divergence into magnetism that I'm pretty sure was just to throw me off the trail of what we were actually talking about. Then, I got to see the lab. I don't know how much I should say, but the periodic table just got thrown out the window.
I just want to read this one more time. Okay. Dude's over there kicking a box. Not gonna lie, it scared the shit out of me. Are you serious? We just did that for nothing? Are you serious, bro? Down into the cave we go.
Looks like a structural collapse of the underlying strata. Typical of karst topography. They had a museum, but this whole place is a museum now. Anyway, looks like an exit at the end of the hall.
And to kind of go back to like what I was talking about, I know I'm on like this huge rant, but it's really fresh in my mind. Let me just read this. It's just really fresh in my mind because I've been watching some Asmon Gold takes recently, and we just had Game of the Year not long ago, and actually very recently. So it's very fresh in my mind, and because it's fresh in my mind, I just pardon me. Because it's fresh in my mind, I just wanted to talk about it. But the part that does bother me about Starfield, I don't know if if anybody else that does watch this or that has played Starfield has watched it, but somebody, if not multiple people, have actually traveled to planets, done the long drive themselves or the long flight. And then when you get to the planet, it's essentially just like a big JPEG. Like there's like nothing there. It's just like a photo and it does nothing. And that really sucks. And Bethesda's responses have been really, really bad, in my opinion, in a lot of ways. Essentially what Bethesda have been saying to the players is, so what if the game's repetitive? We don't find that boring. So what if it's not what you thought it was going to be? We don't find that boring. And it's like, to me, it's like, you know what? You got to listen to the people that are playing the game, whether you agree with them or not. And if people are saying that they don't find the game fun, or that they don't like some of the things in the game and that they find it repetitive, or even just other things, like they're saying things like, things like the JPEG of the planet. It really sucks. And to have Bethesda say, well, we don't think it does. Well, it doesn't matter what you think. What matters, let's be honest, like, what matters is your fan base. But Bethesda's kind of proving what they're saying is true, because look at Fallout 76. As somebody that's been playing Fallout for, shit, we're going back. I played Fallout 1 when I was a kid. That's how old I am. And for them to say, like,
I just don't understand where these calculations came from.
There's something wrong with the math? I think it's quite straightforward.
That's not what I'm asking. We've had no success extracting even a sample of material from the object. No explanation for the gravitational effects. No motion graph to explain its harmonic frequencies. I can't even establish a melting point.
Judith.
But you've had me building these prototype colliders for months. And now you want me to pump helium-3 into it based on this equation you've written on a goddamn napkin?
I just need you to trust me.
I have been trusting you. We keep slamming our heads against a brick wall, getting nothing. And you keep coming up with something new to try. Like, you know what's going to happen. Where are you getting your information, Victor?
I'm sorry, Judith. Look, not here, okay? Somewhere off base. I'll tell you everything. But I'm not lying, okay? We're going to discover something important here. I promise.
I hate responses that Bethesda's been giving. I loved Fallout 1, loved Fallout 2, loved Fallout 3, loved Fallout Vegas, loved Fallout 4, you know, and then you get stuck with a shitty product in Fallout 76. And they say, well, you know, everybody wanted Fallout multiplayer. And in some ways they're not wrong, and in other ways that's complete bullshit. Because to me, I was very happy with single player campaign mode, and the argument was always with my friends that did want Fallout multiplayer. Well, what do you do with VATS? What do you do with VATS then? And they said, you know, well, you know, I don't really. And my theory was, well, then you gotta get rid of VATS. If you're gonna have like the multiplayer, then in multiplayer you're gonna have to get rid of VATS mode, and that's just the way it's gonna have to be. Instead, they go and they make a shitty game, and they dump it on the world. At one point, they couldn't even give it away for free. Your local Walmarts were probably absolutely full of Fallout 76 that they couldn't even give away if they tried. And we get stuck with a shitty product. And just a simple response is, well, you know, you all wanted this. No, we all didn't want this. A lot of us were very happy with what we had. We had a fully functional Fallout game series that brought a lot of joy to a lot of people and a lot of hours and gameplay, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And that's great. You want to go in a different direction. I'm not hating on that. If you want to go in a different direction, there's nothing wrong with that at all. It's good to try new things, but the way that they went about it and the product they delivered was complete ass. I mean, it was... Am I stuck? Can I not go out that way? It was the biggest pile of filth dog shit to ever come out of a Bethesda studio that I've ever played, and it was so disappointing. And again, complete honesty, I was one of the only people to get their money back. It was in the very beginning. I bought it like everybody else through Bethesda's store. I, at the time, thought it was extremely sketchy that they didn't want to go through Steam or anything like that. But, you know, I thought maybe there's a reason. Maybe there's an alternative
humanity
reason.
On Earth must have been a special sort of
But
hell for hopeful
only to
scientists.
find out the game is complete dog shit, and they just don't want people returning it for refunds through Steam. Because, you know, Steam would oblige. You know, Epic would oblige. You know, that these game stores would listen to their customers, and Bethesda would end up with a huge pile of returns, and they didn't want that. And I wrote Bethesda support in the very beginning. I got my refund, and I learned a very valuable lesson that day, and that is that I will never in my life, believe me, don't believe me, I don't give a shit, I will never pre-order a game in my life because Bethesda decides to put out dog shit and dump it on their fans. And that's not even, we're not even talking about all the other stuff they did, you know, with the collector's editions and all the other things and the things they did to dupe their fans, you know, and dupe the hardcores, the people that you should be working extra hard to try to make happy, to thank them, you know. Instead, you get a load of fucking bull jive. And
You're done? Impressive.
I think the part that bothers me the most, to sum this up, is how they try to justify what they've done or why they've done it. And to me, that's the part that just sends me over the top. It's like, just admit, you know, the game's not finished. Just admit that you're going to be working on it for some time, just like you had to do with Fallout, just like you had to do with a lot of games, instead of trying to be like, well, you know, we like it. No, you don't like it, okay? And if you do like it, you're fucked in the head. Let's call it for what it is, right? If you like a game like Fallout 76 in its early stages, back when it was just riddled with bugs and it was just complete dog shit, I mean, I don't care how hardcore of a fan you are, you're a fucking idiot. You really are. Or there's something wrong with you. Like, big time wrong with you. And if it's medical, I apologize, but you're fucked in the head. Let's do this one first. It looks like the most difficult. And actually, we had it at the beginning. There we go. But yeah, I mean, I don't understand. I saw people on social media saying, hey, you know, Starfield should win. I don't know if they were low-key trolling. I don't know what the case was, but all I could think to myself is, if you really believe that Starfield should be Game of the Year, when you see how other games have come out and how polished they are, like, you are nuttier than a fucking brand nut muffin. I like, you're fucked in the head. You are. If you truly think that Starfield should have beat out Baldur's Gate 3, you're fucked in the head. Because to me, it's not even a question. It really is not even a question. You know, I heard Asmongold's take that even Armored Core 3 should be in the conversation. I don't know. I used to play Armored Core back when it was on PlayStation, PlayStation 1, I believe it was. So I'm not.
Sorry, I was lost in a memory for a moment there.
I don't have a proper take on
Let's
that,
rearrange something.
whether he's right or wrong. I saw some gameplay of it. I saw him play it, but I don't know. From what I saw, I don't even think it should be in the conversation, but I do think that it's a much more polished game than this game, especially at launch. But you know, I don't know. I truly don't know if it should be in Game of the Year conversation or not. But what I do know is Baldur's Gate 3 is a unicorn. I wish that's what our expectations could be. I wish our expectations could be finished product that had a lot of love and passion go into it. And not even just love and passion, but the people in management and the people that are in charge would make sure that the love and attention was given to it. Because I think that's where most of the problems will always stem from. I'm in management. I've got almost 100 employees that I'm directly responsible for, and I'm at fault if a lot of things happen, whether it's training, whether it's at a management level of saying, you know, payment, whether it's somebody screwed something up and I didn't even know about it, it still falls on my shoulders. And that's something that I learned very early on in life is, if you're going to get into a leadership role, when the team fails, whether you knew a member of the team failed, I can't pull out my gun. I cannot pull out my gun. And here we go with the bugs. Shit like we were just talking about. What the hell is that?
You aren't ready for this, but I am.
Oh man, this sucks.
It'll heal.
Okay, so can we save? We're not going to be able to save because we're in combat. But we can save. Alright, let's try loading this up. But yeah, when you're in a leadership role and the team fails or the product fails or whatever, guess who it's going to come down on? Yeah, I'm screwed. I can't even pull out a weapon. It will never fall on the employee until management comes down on the employee. It will fall on the management.
Oh, yes. I know how this ends. Okay, that hurt. Okay. Oh, I'm not. Thanks. I needed that.
Get him, Barrett. Get the cock touchers. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But I can't pull out my fucking gun. This sucks, man. And that's what I mean. This is one of the bugs that I've suffered from since day one with this game is just... I can't even... My gun goes away at certain scenarios. And I can't even pull it out. That's what she said. Good job. What about if me and him try to trade gear? It won't even bring up that screen because we're in combat. Are you shitting me right now?
Oh, bad choice.
This is ridiculous. I honestly can't believe this shit. I can, but I can't.
Sure.
Ridiculous.
I've got some time to kill.
Good job.
Did someone order extra Barrett? And stay down.
I'm gonna let Barrett do all the damn work. Here I am just looting in the middle of battle. You're saying that should be that would probably be that, and then that, and then that. Can't be that. Could be that. Okay.
Perfect.
What's in here? Oh, you guys got them all? Now I can pull out my gun. You motherfuckers, man. You guys are motherfuckers. Oh, I could have used that. Fuck me. That. 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 And then probably that, right? Yep. Status. No signal. Yeah, because they're all fucking dead. So they do got some ammo. That's good. Alright. A digidick? I'll take a digidick. You can suck on my little ball. That's what we had before, yeah. I guess. Go back with that. And down we go.
Imagine if they hadn't been able to convince people to invest this much.
Imagine if you
I
ever
wonder if
shut
humanity
the
was
fuck up.
still here.
I see a lot of explosives. What could the explosives be for?
The artifact isn't far
Try
now.
one time. Try one time. Okay, so it could only go like that, right? A two-piece? Are you fucking serious? Just like that, I'm fucked. Yeah, fuck off.
Look at all this stuff.
No did
Simply astounding.
Get the fuck out. Whoa. Okay. Gravity is gone.
Well, they don't need it now.
This way? Or do I gotta go through that door? Or do I gotta go through that door? Can I keep going up? Yep. Oh. Okay. Hello? Hello? Hi. Oh, and gravity has been restored. Alright, just saying, privacy is important.
Project Log, Dr. Victor Isa. We turned on the prototype today. The gravitational field around it began to fold as we long suspected. Complete reversal of gravitational pull was observed on dozens of loose objects around the lab. I'm setting up a meeting with the directors to propose a larger test. The prototype proves we don't need the original anymore. But further work is going to have to take place in space. Somewhere with abundant helium-3 and with a civilian partner. Someone with access to large-scale manufacturing resources and computational equipment. Engineering gravitational folds pulling the far side of the solar system closer to us? It's all going to be possible.
Project Log, Dr. Judith Tatian. I watched the gravjet tests from the moon today. It was the first time we were able to talk to the team at Nova Galactic directly. So many things were under wraps before, but now everyone wants all the publicity they can get. I'm already seeing proposals for manufacturing hundreds of drives. Expeditions to Alpha Centauri and beyond.
Alpha Centauri?
It's also overwhelming and worrying. It could take years. Decades before we know what all these side effects of operating a grav drive can be. But no one wants to hear that right now. Like a bunch of pioneers racing towards the edges of the frontier without knowing about the grizzly bears in the mountain.
One little French Scott. Great Scott! Now what? telling me to go down now? Do you want to go down on me? Into this one, okay. Oh, another computer. Please be careful whenever running power through the prototype. Secure all loose objects and have researchers empty pockets and remove jewelry, watches, etc. Reminder that the core of the drive contains a specimen that is irreplaceable and all data is under the strictest clearance. Exercise all caution with all research materials and ensure information does not leave this lab.
I never actually got to visit your labs back when we were working on the grav drive projects.
Seems like ancient history now. Only thing we're doing these days is launching weather satellites.
Guess this is as good a retirement as any. Now, Project Demeter, you want our help manufacturing scanners to better track these new meteorological patterns we're seeing.
Our guess is that the poles might be naturally shifting, causing some gravitational fluctuations that are throwing off our old models.
Why do you need the scanning tolerances to be so small? What are you trying to find?
I just want to be sure. It's not like we're doing much these days anyway. The glory days are over. Why not give ourselves a challenge before they write us off in the history books?
Sure. No autoplay on that. Okay, well, you can read along with me because I'm not reading that all out loud.
I know what I'm seeing, Victor. The data coming back from the satellites is very clear. It's the grav drives.
All those jumps from the moon. At this rate, Earth's atmosphere is going to start sputtering out into space.
Can the drives be fixed?
I'm working on some designs that should discreetly solve the problem, under the guise of an emergency update to the fueling pumps.
We're talking about the end of Earth, and you're trying to be subtle about it.
Judith, the last thing we need is people losing faith in grav drive technology. That might be our only option.
To what? Are you seriously saying we should abandon Earth?
The timeline is under 50 years. A blink of an eye for a planet, but more than enough time for a human exodus.
And what do we tell people?
We say it's an act of God, one that science has found a solution for. Time for humanity to take its place in the stars.
You knew, didn't you? You lied to me. All this time. I dedicated my life to this discovery, Victor. And you knew we were going to kill off our planet?
You haven't seen the future I've seen. There's an infinite expanse of promise out there. A meteor could hit Earth, a plague, another world war. Colonizing other galaxies secures humanity's future for all coming generations, across all time.
At the expense of our home.
Stop it, both of you. All that matters is building enough ships to get everyone off this planet. And we need to start now.
I'll draft up a statement. We'll need to address the entire international community. I'm sorry, Judith.
There isn't a planet in this universe that will be far enough away from you, Victor. We are never speaking again after this is over.
My name is Dr. Victor Isa. And if you're listening to this, then you probably already know the truth. I was young when I first headed the retrieval team of an odd gravitational anomaly on Mars. But I kept what really happened that day hidden from everyone except one other person. Even she didn't believe me at first. But I have no reason to lie to anyone now, so I hope you'll accept this confession, whoever you are. When I touched the anomaly, I experienced 12 days of lost time. I met myself.
12 days.
He told me everything that has since come true. The grav drive equations, the tests on the moon, Earth's atmosphere sputtering away because of what we had done. But he also told me about a city thriving on a planet orbiting a distant star. Human culture, art, music, lifestyles evolving and shining brightly across all of space. What price would I be willing to pay for that future? Maybe you don't believe me. Maybe Judith was right and I'm just a coward who wants to believe his mistakes were justified. But everyone has forgotten about the real origins of the grav drive, this artifact from Mars. I hope you make better use of it than I did.
Gotcha. So we're gonna get this artifact, and when we get this artifact, shit's gonna hit the fan.
So it wasn't just a terrible but inevitable disaster? The grav drives?
Oh, so we gotta go back in that room to get it.
How did we not realize?
Are we like racing the Starborn here? I have a feeling like if the Starborn get it before us type thing. What room was it? This floor? Or was it the second floor? I can't remember. Yeah, okay, we're in the right room. How do I get it? Oh my god, do I gotta go back in that fucking room? Oh my good god, are you fucking serious with me right now? It looks like I've got to activate a computer or something. At least we weren't far. We do. There's a button. Fuck you. Oh, good news though. The gravity's gone. No digidicks. Of course no digidicks. Gravity's gone, so that's good. That's actually a huge plus. I know there's a fight coming for sure. Starborn, every time we've been getting an artifact lately, the Starborn are like right there with us. Great, so now I gotta wait for my fucking boost to charge. Every time we've been getting an artifact, the Starborn are right there with us, so. And there you go. I fucking, bro, this game is so
what you found. And it looks like other Starborn got here before us. So, you might have company.
So fucking predictable.
Send them to the storm. Oh, I got this.
Still don't know what that Stardust shit does. We're gonna take some. Okay. We are trucking. Shit. Finally, you're getting in the fight. Good job, Barrett. Good job, Barrett. Jesus, I gotta heal up again. Oh, I don't have much ammo left. Gotta put in one of those power cubes. Fuck. Power cube. Power cube. Fuck is the power cube, man? Where the fuck is the fucking power source thing? The battery fucking thing. Bro, where is this bullshit? This is fucked. Do I just gotta press the button? No, power required. Power fucking... Oh. There it is. On the way. Didn't even see it. Okay, I'm gonna heal up. You know that's not finished with You know we're not finished with the Starborn. We're probably gonna like be trying to board our ship and these motherfuckers are gonna be on us. Another power cell. Sealant. Nothing groundbreaking. Oh, I see where it goes. Oh, it's already full. Fuck. It wants me to go this way, though. Of course, fucking Starborn, motherfucker. A 2 Starborn? Motherfucker, man. I don't got enough ammo. Not with this gun. almost... Oh, thought that was my health, but it was my boost. Let's do an emergency kit. And let's do that. Why is he like fucking invincible, man?
Is that all?
Oh my god, I am almost done on ammo. Who's shooting?
Please. I've done this 1,000
Fuck.
times.
Need health again. Let's fucking go. I wish that was gonna be it, but you know it's not. Anything good? It looks like they're just absolute dog shit worth of loot. Completely off topic. And I only bring this up because it just came on our YouTube and I know somebody that's watched it. And so we decided to watch it since it kind of like just popped up in our feed. And I heard about it years ago. But I'm curious if anybody watching this has ever heard of the Whitakers on YouTube. It's about this long generation type family of incest. Oh my god, man. It's just so cringe. It's so bad. I don't know. I'm not trying to be a dick or rude or anything, but I don't know why a family like that hasn't been sterilized. It benefits nobody. Okay, that's old.
Station log. Dr. Judith Tatien. The recent delivery from Mars is unsettling.
I believe we
I
heard
was
these.
station log. Dr.
I believe
Judith
they were
Tatien.
downstairs.
I've been trying to cozy up to Dr. Isaac.
But yeah,
Victor,
the Whitaker
to see
family,
what
I
is
mean,
going
some
on.
of them don't even speak, they
His
bark,
team has completely-
and they make animal noises, and that's how they communicate. And, I know it sounds really mean, but...
I joked that maybe he found a little gray man who was doing an autopsy, and he grew very pale. 2 days later, he sent me a request asking for more information on my background in material science, metallurgical...
Do you understand now why I asked you to come here? The artifacts unlocked the secret of interstellar travel. At the cost of Earth.
An easy trade, honestly. Why have one world when you can have all the settled systems? Assuming we weren't going to lose it anyway. War, disease, famine, all the classics.
Don't you see? The power of the artifact forced humanity to the stars. They didn't get to make a choice. How many would have chosen Earth? What gave Victor Isa the right to choose for them?
You see the hypocrisy in what the emissary is saying, right? They don't want to rob people of their free will, but then they steal the artifacts for themselves.
In the wrong hands, the power of the artifacts can make anyone a tyrant. That is why we watch over them. The only thing you're watching out for is yourself. Join me, old friend. We can collect the final pieces together.
Oh, no, you don't. You're not his old friend, remember? You're from another universe. Don't try to manipulate him. Okay. I couldn't win you over on philosophy. How about pragmatism? I'm more powerful than the emissary, than any other Starborn. And you might not understand why, but I want you to succeed. You've never gotten this far before. I need to see what happens to you.
Thank you.
Well, can't say I didn't try. We'll settle this at the usual place.
The buried temple. We'll be there.
You're lucky I'm a man of my word. I'll see you there.
Stay for a moment. You must have questions about what happens next. We will not be able to go to the buried temple right away. There are still other artifacts out there in the settled systems that haven't been gathered. You will need to work with your colleagues in Constellation to find them. There's always a final artifact in a specific temple. The Hunter and I agreed that whoever you sided with, the other would wait there. Expect anything and everything. Other Starborn, human mercenaries and defenses, alien creatures under mind control. It's all fair game.
Fair enough.
He and I have made a number of agreements over the years, if you can even call them years at this point. We let him go. In exchange, he'll wait at the buried temple. You'll be able to prepare any way you can before then. I will meet you in orbit above the buried temple. We'll face what's there together.
Okay.
All of the other artifacts need to be gathered before the final one will reveal itself. I will be bringing mine. The Hunter will be bringing his. And you will need to bring the rest. All of the ones Constellation can find.
Alrighty.
Everything looks exactly
Okay, guys, maybe a little bit shorter of a part for me than as of late, but that's going to do it for me on this part. I got some stuff to do. Anyways, to finish off what I was talking about, the Whitakers on YouTube, it's about an incest family. They've been incest for generations. They don't speak English, some of them. They bark and they make animal noises to communicate. And, it's crazy. And like I was saying, I know it might not be nice, but you got to sterilize a family like that. It's not good for anybody. They've got so many health problems and so much going on. Some of them only have like one eye, and it's chaos. It's hell on wheels. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, I don't even know if I'd say check it out. It's just complete madness. But all right, guys, I love you very much. Thank you for everything, the love, the support, the hate, the comments, the whatever. I appreciate it all. DiggityWiggityWaaa signing out, saying have a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, a Happy Hanukkah, a Diwali, whatever it is you celebrate. Have a happy holidays, motherfuckers.